Hi and welcome back to another Amazon selling video. We literally just picked up the RV from getting solar at Future Solutions here in Elkhart, and so here is a sneak peek of the top. You are the first to see it. I've literally not shared this anywhere else, so I hope you enjoyed. My office is in disarray because of that. We literally just got to the campground. So today we're talking the difference between the Amazon SKUs and the manufacturer barcode. You have that option when you're shipping items into Amazon for FBA. And this question actually comes up a lot in the Bolo group, but I've always done Amazon barcodes, so that's just the way I do it. And it didn't really become an issue until recently, but I'll get into that later. So really quickly, if you've never worked retail or you're just not familiar what the term SKU means, it's stock keeping unit. And that's the number that stores give to their inventory so that they can track it through their system. Now, as an Amazon seller, every time you create a listing, you can give items your own SKU number, and no one will see it. It's just your own SKU number. So I'm going to really quickly just walk you through how I set mine up so that it's the most useful for me. I didn't used to create them in the beginning, and now I use them all the time. So we're just going to go, I'm going to pretend like I'm selling this here JanSport backpack. So you list it as normal if you've never listed on Amazon. Here's a sneak peek of how it looks to list. So you would just pick your price. And then here it says seller SKU, and that is where you would input your own SKU number. So how I do mine is, let's say I got this at TJ Maxx, so I come up with a term, TJM is my TJ Maxx, and it was on sale for $10. So now I'm going to say, okay, what's my break even? So I do BE for break even, and I'll go back to the item on Amazon, and I'll say, okay, at $41.68, which is the buy box price, which is what I use for my break evens. Let's say it costs $10. I would be making, if I really did find this is not something I'm selling, I literally just Googled JanSport. I'd be making $15 profit on this, but let's say, what is my break even? Let's say if I sell it for $19, I'll be losing money. If I sell it for $24.99, I'd be making 86, which is a pretty good break even number, so that's probably what I would say. $24.99 is my break even number. If you're not familiar with this whole box right here that I'm using, that is RevSeller, and I use it all the time. This is how I use it most of the time, but I use it all the time, and so that's why I always recommend it, and it's always in my helpful links below. So now back to our listing. We're going to say break-even price was $24.99. Then you just continue, it's a new item, and then you would just hit save and finish, and then that would go ahead and list it. So how I use these SKUs in my everyday selling is then I can see right here the SKU number. So I got this, I know my FM, that's Fred Meyer. This was back when I was in Oregon. For $3, the break even on it was $6.99. So when I'm pricing my stuff every day in this system, I can now see like $6.99 is the number I really don't want to go below, because then I'll be losing money. The other way I use it is to know the cost when it imports into inventory tracking software like Sellerboard or Inventory Labs. So that's how I use the SKUs, and I highly recommend using it if you want to have an easier way to remember what you bought it for, where you bought it, and the break-even price. Okay, now back to the Amazon SKUs versus the barcode. So Amazon SKUs are actually called FNSKUs. It means Fulfillment Network Stock Keeping Unit. And every Amazon SKU ties back to my inventory or your inventory. It goes back to the seller's inventory so that they know that exact item and what seller it went to. So that's the FNSKU. As I said in the beginning, I've only ever done these SKUs. I put the label on all my items. So I've never done the barcode thing, and I actually don't even remember seeing it come up until more recently, so I'm not really sure. I don't remember why I started doing it this way, other than that's probably how I was taught to do it. But now that I know what I know, is the way I will continue to do it. Okay, so you probably already guessed this, but the manufacturer is just the UPC that is on all the products. So UPC, manufacturer barcode, same thing. Now here are the reasons I recommend not doing the manufacturer barcode. The first is that all of the items, since you're not labeling them and they're not specific to you, they get sent to Amazon and they basically are commingled with everyone else who sent their product in. So if you took the time to polybag your stuff and make it look really nice and presentable, and someone orders something in California but your item is over in Florida, over in California, Amazon's just going to pull another item from another seller that's that same UPC and send it to them. So that means they're really not able to fully track back. Like if that product is fake or counterfeit or broken or all that stuff, it's not tied to you, but you could get blamed for it because it was your product that the customer bought on their order. So that is one of the like main reasons I wouldn't recommend it, but there's a big one coming. So it's kind of obvious why Amazon would want to do this, because they're saving money by not having to ship the product across country, and then the customer is getting a better experience because they're getting the item a lot faster than if it was shipped across the country. So it makes sense why Amazon would want to do it, but that's why as a seller, you should really protect yourself and take that extra step to apply the Amazon barcode. I've actually read about people who they have sent all their inventory and then they had to ask for it back, and it's not actually the product they sent in. Like, they can tell. I think one of them said they actually tested and like checked the lot numbers for their item. So you're not even getting back the same inventory you sent. So that's weird. Now, not all products are eligible for this for kind of obvious reasons. It can only be a new product. It can only have one UPC that's tied with one ASIN. So sometimes when brands change packaging or whatever, the UPC will change. So it can have one UPC to one ASIN. It can't have an expiration date, which makes sense because if someone else sent in something that's going to expire and you sent in something 2 years later, then that wouldn't be a good customer experience. And then it can't be a consumable, which is like grocery and topical and beauty products. So anything else, if you did want to go this route, that would be eligible, but those are the ones that are not. So now here is the biggest reason why you do not want to do manufacturer barcode, or like, I don't recommend it. I mean, you can do what you want, but here's why I don't think you should do it. So say you have like 30 items, Amazon could actually break that FBA shipment up into like 10 different warehouse shipments. So since the manufacturer code is all they have and it's the same as everything else out there, they actually make you box it separately and send it. So you're sending literally 4 different boxes of 4 different items to the same warehouse, and that is going to end up costing you so much money in shipping. That is the reason I found out about all this in the first place, is because members of the Bolo group kept asking, like, why is Amazon putting all my shipments into so many different shipments? And I was like, I have no idea. The most I ever have is 5. And that's when I have like 300 items. So for them to, I just couldn't figure out like what it was. And then finally figured it out. And it's because they were using the manufacturer barcode. And so that's how this all came about. So that is the main reason, because if you're trying to save money by not labeling it, and trust me, sometimes it is time consuming, you're gonna just pay so much more in shipping when you have to ship it to 10 different warehouses than if you had just labeled it and shipped it to like 2 warehouses. So that is why I don't recommend doing the manufacturer's barcode, and just go ahead and label it. Save yourself the time and the hassle and possible bad reviews if a customer thinks that you sold them something that you didn't really sell them. Okay, now if you want to update your Amazon FBA settings so that you don't have to worry about this and it's just automatically picking Amazon barcode, you go ahead and you head to settings and fulfilled by Amazon. Scroll down to the bottom where it says FBA barcode preferences. And then you go ahead and select the Amazon barcode and just hit updates. It does say that it'll take about 24 hours to update, so it might be like your next shipment if you're currently working on one. And that way it's just automatically just pulling that you want an Amazon barcode. And that's really it. Those are the main differences between the Amazon FNSKU and the manufacturer's barcode. If you need any more help from me for Q4 and you want to know like what you should be scanning right now, definitely consider grabbing my guide. The link is below. I walk you through what I sold in previous years, including ASINs and photos. I walk you through how to look through the Black Friday and Thanksgiving ads to really figure out like when the best deal is, as well as all the tips and strategies I use for shopping during Q4 so that you can make the most for your money right off the gate, because just because you're a new seller doesn't mean you can't go out there ready to source like a pro. And as always, if you need help ungating with toys or topical or grocery or all of those, my guides are below and they are super affordable. They are made for new sellers. They are helping new sellers. You don't have to have sold a single thing and you can get ungated. So I highly recommend, if you really want to make the most of this Q4, I actually have a bundle where you can get ungated and the guide, or you can just get the guide, or you can just get ungated. Whatever you need to do, I definitely am there to help you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you back here for another Amazon selling video.